死なないために死ぬほど準備することなんて絵にしねやらたことでしょう。光栄だけど買いかぶりっすよ。
Hello guys, it's me Simo Urahara, and in this video we will talk about the Bankai that should be added in the new season of the anime. For example, in the final arc we saw I think 14 new Bankai, and most of them were in the second invasion, because in the first invasion there was the problem of the middle which can steal the Bankai, and therefore we only saw the Bankai of the old man Zankai no Tachi and the Bankai of Sasakibi, and also Onana's Bankai, which we can put on this list as well because we don't know what its ability is. And the good thing is, Kobo is the main supervisor of the anime. He said he added a lot of things, like the scene of Ryuken and Yurio that we have seen in the last trailer. He also added some fights. He also said that he gave other details about Onana's Bankai to the staff. So the possibility to see the Bankai that we didn't see in the manga is very high. For example, if you want to talk about Isshin's Bankai or Isshin as a character, Isshin is like Ryuken, should have played a pivotal role in the final arc, because Masaki's killer is the enemy of the arc, and so Isshin's role was limited in telling Ichigo about his past with Masaki, and through that past we have seen Isshin's fight against White. And in the middle of the fight, Isshin was gonna release his Bankai, but Aizen intervened and stopped him, and because of that we learned that Isshin can't release the Bankai in such condition. And then Kobo neglected Isshin until we saw him with Ryuken. Therefore, the possibility to see the Bankai of Isshin, I think it will be through two possibilities. The first, Isshin will enter a fight against a Sternreiter, and that Sternreiter will play the role of an obstacle of Ichigo that will delay his going to fight Urahara. Or, and that's what I hope to see, a collective fight of Isshin and Ryuken against Urahara, which would definitely be one of the greatest fights if it's happened. Because just think with me guys, both wives of Isshin and Ryuken were killed because of Urahara. So that fight would be a great moment to see the full power of both Ryuken and Isshin, and this last will use his Bankai. I don't care about if his Bankai gonna be useful or not, but what I want to see at least is like what Kobo did with Aizen, where Isshin had to fight Aizen and use the Getsuga Tensho. So here with Urahara, Kobo will have nothing to hide about Isshin because we already know his background. So I really hope Kobo to find a place in the anime where Isshin can release the Bankai. Then we have Okitaki's Bankai. I think all the fans agree that if you had to choose between Okitaki in his story with Mimihage or Okitaki in his Bankai, I think everyone would choose the Bankai. Because frankly, as I said in a previous video about Okitake, that his sacrifice did not have any great benefit, it only made things get worse. It is true that Mimihage stopped the destruction of the world for maybe 5 minutes, but Urahara in the end absorbed the Soul King in Mimihage, and thus he became more stronger than before. So since Okitake is already linked to Mimihage, I don't know how they can let him release Bankai. I wish that the first invasion was not based on the idea of stealing the Bankai, otherwise we would have been able to see the Bankai of Okitake in the first invasion, because I think in the first invasion Okitake will fight this Sternreiter, but as I said, this can't be done since there is the problem of the middle, and in the second invasion Okitake was already in the shrine of Mimihage, so even in the first hours of the second invasion he didn't have the chance to enter a fight where he can fight and use his Bankai. Therefore, if Kobo really intends to show us Okitake's Bankai, he can't do that before the fight of Urahara and Ichibi. There were a bunch of incomplete fights, so he can use one of them to let Okitake fight, like maybe he fights the Sternreiter Robert. And speaking about Ichibi's fight against Urahara, Kobo must have thought seriously about the Zero Squad. Everyone is aware of the disappointment that we have been exposed to, especially their fight against the Elite Guards. So this is one of the things that I would like to know how Kobo would have dealt with, especially the fight of Kerenji and Hikofuni and Shinjimaru. We're supposed to see their Bankai as well, and Kobo previously said in Club Outside that the spoon that Hikofuni carries is her Zanpakuto. So the Bankai of the Zero Squad is one of the things that I hope to see in the anime. As for the Bankai of Heraku and Hisage, that's another topic. their Bankai appeared in the novel, but we don't know if the novel will be adapted in the form of anime or not. Kobo has said that if there is enough material, the novel will be adapted, but we may not see them in the events of the final arc, but in a separate events like what they did in Naruto anime, and exactly in the gap that is between the chapter 684 and 685. There is a timescape of 10 years, and so the novel of Can't Fear Your Own Word take place 6 months after the end of the battle between Ichigo and Urahara, and the novel of We Do Not Always Love You take place after 3 years of the same battle. So if the anime was successful to the point that they want to expand the number of episodes, I think they will adapt the events of the novel like the way I have just said. But if there is no project at all to turn the novels into anime, I think it's better for Kobo to find a suitable fights for Hirako and Hisage so that we can see their Bankai during the second invasion. And we come to the most important Bankai that we have not seen, Aizen's Bankai and Ichigo's Bankai. What is fact is that Ichigo released the real Bankai, but it was broken by Urahara. We didn't see its strength in its abilities, and all we knew is that Urahara said his Bankai is very powerful. As for Aizen Sasuke, I previously made a video about him and I expressed my opinion that he has a Bankai. He simply doesn't need to use it, because I think its abilities may have some negative effects that will not benefit him. And we can see like the situation at some Shinigami. They have better effective Shikai than Bankai, like Hirako. He has better Shikai, Sakanari, than the Bankai, which doesn't differentiate between the friend and enemy. So Aizen's Bankai might be in such category. However, if Kobo really wants to make Aizen release the Bankai, he will be in the final battle against Urahara. And there we will be also able to see the real Bankai of Ichigo and how its power works. And also there is the Bankai of Yorichi. I might also add it in this list, but Yorichi herself mentioned that she doesn't rely on her Zanpakuto either in Shikai or Bankai. So if she was going to use it, she would have used it in her fight against Asuka Naklovar. But who knows, everything is possible. We don't know what things Kobo wanted to do in the last arc, but he couldn't, and now he has a chance to do it in the anime. And on the top of that, we have the one-shot Hell arc. I don't think Kobo will complete this arc, and then we will be able to see more Bankai, especially the Bankai of some other Shinigami, like Kira and Yumichika, because Kobo has spoken about this possibility of them getting a Bankai in the final arc, I mean the arc of the Quincy. And so we can see their Bankai either in the arc of the Quincy, the version of the anime, or the Hell arc. So in my opinion, the key of all of this is the success of the anime. Believe me, if the anime gets an unusual hype and a good feedback, they will expand the number of the episodes, which will benefit the story. There are a lot of things to be said in the anime, and one of those things are the Bankai that we didn't witness neither in the manga or the novel. And so guys, tell me your opinion, what do you think, and see you guys in my next video.